Today I want to talk about and summarize the new changes, improvements, everything like that for Road to the Show and MLB The Show 25. In the comments section, I want to know what you're most excited for MLB 25's Road to the Show. And in Road to the Show this year, you're going to be starting in high school. So I guess we can start with some high school stuff for Road to the Show. The school that you play for is going to be regional based on the state that you choose. They do have 4 high schools, so I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. If you are outside of the US for your Road to the Show player, I think maybe there will be East, West, Central, maybe an international high school. I'm not 100% sure, but I know there are 4 different high schools for you. And you start with senior day, and then you have the high school playoffs up to the state championship, depending on how your team does. So it sounds like there's max 3 games. I could be wrong, maybe 4, but I think there might be a max of 3 high school games for Road to the Show. With high school, with college, there are metal bats, obviously the chain link fences, and each of the 4 high schools has their own ballpark. So one ballpark for each of the high schools, depending on the location. There's going to be props, things like that in the background. The scenery, the setting is going to be different based on the location of your high school. And then there's one college ballpark. We'll touch on that a little bit. The Omaha Stadium, the college baseball championship, I think is exactly what it's called for Road to the Show, but there's one college stadium for Road to the Show this year, and there are recruiters from the 8 colleges that can come and talk to you. And after each of the high school games, you're going to be developing more college interest. You're going to be getting offers from each of the colleges that is interested in you. And I'm guessing you can probably, if you do well enough, get an offer from each of the 8 colleges. And you have a map to show you your college interest as well as MLB interest. In high school, you're getting that college interest, but you're also getting Major League Baseball interest. Major League teams are going to be interested in you. You can get drafted straight out of high school. You don't have to go to college. And on that map, you can cycle between the 2. You can see the college interest. You can see the Major League Baseball interest. And for each of the college offers, there's specific rewards and boosts for your players. You can get a perk package, choose between 3 different perks, hitting, pitching, things like that. There's equipment packs for you to get. Colleges will offer you things like that. You can also get upgrade tokens to make your ball player better, which we'll touch on in just a little bit. In addition to those rewards from the colleges, perks, equipment, upgrade tokens, things like that, each college will give you certain exposure. So if you play for that college, certain colleges will have higher exposure than others, which will make your reach towards those MLB teams, getting MLB teams interested in you, easier with certain colleges, but also make it harder with the other colleges. In addition to that exposure, certain colleges will give you better skill developments, and we'll talk about this a little bit later as well. But when you go from high school to college, it skips you straight to your final year of college. It skips you straight to that college baseball tournament that they have in the game. And based on the college you choose, you'll have better skill development for your player, makes it easier for you to upgrade and be better and just be a higher overall player once you get drafted by an MLB team, once you're done with that amateur experience, the high school and the college years. They did confirm that you can be the #1 overall pick. They said for the first time ever, so I guess maybe it wasn't possible in previous years, but they said you can be the #1 overall pick in the MLB draft. I'm not sure if it's possible to be that directly on a high school. You might have to go to college to be that #1 overall pick, but you can get drafted on a high school. You don't have to go to college. Even if you do get drafted, but you also accepted a college offer, you can still choose, okay, do you still want to go through with this offer? Or maybe you liked where you got drafted out of high school and you're like, okay, well, even though you committed to college, you can still just choose to go pro, and you don't have to actually go to college. Even if you chose that you wanted to do that, you can still get drafted, can still go to college, but you can also just go pro straight out of high school. The MLB Draft Combine is back, and it looks like you can do this while in high school, and then I'm guessing maybe again after your college stuff. And you don't have to do the draft combine. You are able to skip this if you want to, but if you skip it, you're less likely to go higher in the draft. You're less likely to get fast tracked to the majors, so it's going to maybe take you a longer time to get to the major leagues. If you skip that MLB Draft Combine, you're also missing out on player progression rewards. And if you're doing the MLB Draft Combine out of high school, that will give you more college interest. But if you skip the draft, you're not going to be getting that additional college interest. And the higher you get drafted, the quicker you should make it to the majors, the quicker your fast track to the majors will be. But if you don't play good in the minors, that's going to take away from that, right? If you all of a sudden get to the minors and just start playing like trash, you're going to lose that fast track that you kind of earned yourself in high school and or college to the majors. You're going to lose that if you don't play good in the minors. Now, while you're getting drafted, there are college packages and MLB draft packages, and those are giving specific boosts like we talked about earlier, you know, maybe higher skill development, the quicker track to the majors, better increase in your attributes, more upgrade tokens, perks, equipment, things like that. So there are benefits and downsides to going to college or choosing to be drafted, and you just kind of got to weigh the benefits and try to think what the best option for yourself would be. So I've been talking about upgrade tokens, earning those by getting drafted or as part of your college bonus, signing bonus for when you get drafted, things like that. But the tokens, the upgrade tokens, are brand new to MLB The Show 25, and these are used to upgrade your attributes and then your perks for the perk system. And for upgrading your attributes, you can either do it one by one all the way up to 99. You can upgrade specific attributes, or you can group it. There's contact, power, fielding, throwing, base running if you want to do certain groups at a time. But in each of those groups, that's where you're seeing the specific attributes. And if you, for whatever reason, don't want to customize it like that, you would rather just have the game kind of give you a power or a contact build. They do have presets, and the game will kind of help you just upgrade your player in certain ways, so you don't have to specifically choose every attribute, every upgrade if you don't want to. If you want to streamline the process a little bit, maybe take the thought off yourself a little bit, you're able to choose preset upgrade packages if you don't want it to be completely custom. But they do have the option one way or the other. If you want to customize everything how you want it to, if you want to start right away, boom, power versus righties, get that up to 99 before doing anything else, that's possible. You could get up to 99 speed without upgrading anything else. If that's how you want to play, you're able to do that for Road to the Show and MLB 25. And perks have been a thing for a while in Road to the Show. They're back in MLB 25, but they are different in MLB The Show 25. There are batting, fielding, and base running perks, and you have a perk upgrade tree. And you can see in this upgrade tree, you can see the specific perks, when they're going to be active, and what effect that perk is going to have, what it's going to be boosting. But you don't have to apply perks. Once you unlock a perk, it's always active. You don't have to pick and choose. So eventually, theoretically, if you play enough Road to the Show, you spend enough of these upgrade tokens, unlock enough of these perks, eventually you could have every single perk unlocked, and in certain situations, they'll apply themselves. And that's what we're seeing on the perk upgrade tree, is when those perks are going to be active, what situations. And if you master a perk, you get it all the way maxed out, all the way upgraded. Instead of one effect, instead of one boost, that perk is going to give you 2 boosts now instead of 1. So if you level a perk all the way up, in a way, you're kind of doubling the effects of that perk and its boost. And equipment in Road to the Show is actually a lot different than it has been in the past. It's no longer giving you a direct boost to your attributes. You're not going to have cleats that are giving you plus 12 speed. They're now providing boosts to your perk. So for example, a diamond bat or a bats, a piece of equipment that you're applying to your player, will give you a boost to, for example, hitting perks. Cleats would probably give you maybe a boost to fielding or speed, things like that. It's just going to depend on the piece of equipment and the perks that it's going to boost. But I think the easiest example is a bat equipment that you apply to your Road to the Show player. That's going to give you a percentage boost to your hitting perks and the effects of that perk. So I kind of like that change. It's a little bit interesting. You know, I'm so used to the attributes. I feel like that's how they've always done it. So I'm interested to see what specific equipment, the highest levels of the equipment, that diamond equipment, how big of boosts are we going to get to the perks. Dynamic challenges are back in Road to the Show. Basically, these are challenges that are popping up mid-game for your Road to the Show player, and you get to choose between like 1 and 3 options: driving a run, driving all the runners, reach base on a walk, get a hit or better, things like that. They're just going to be challenges that you can choose, and there's certain rewards for each. There's no negatives. If you fail, you just don't get the reward, but there's no downsides. You're not losing anything, and you can either get these upgrade points, or you can get sometimes even an upgrade token. And one thing to keep in mind is, for the upgrade points, every 100 of these points gets you 1 of the upgrade tokens needed for your perks and for your attribute development in Road to the Show. And you can get these points, the show points from these dynamic challenges, but these are also what you're seeing popping up in the top left while you're playing Road to the Show. These are what you're getting for driving and runs, taking that extra base, hitting a home run, RBI, watching a ball instead of swinging it, things like that, keeping the count alive maybe with a foul ball. These are those points you're seeing pop up in the top left. Every 100 of those equals 1 upgrade token. So basically, the more you do, the better you do, the quicker you're going to be able to upgrade your Road to the Show ball player. Obviously, metal bats are in Road to the Show. They're in high school, they're in college, and I know a lot of people have been wondering about this. How many metal bats are we going to have? Is there going to be, for example, you know, that orange Easton's? Is there going to be fan favorite bats or bats that like everyone knows and loves? And the short answer is no. There are only 2 to 3. They said 2 to 3. There's literally 3 metal bats. I don't know why they were saying 2 to 3. Which is just kind of weird because there's 3 of them. So there's 3 metal bats. They're going to be cycling for your Road to the Show player in high school and college. You don't get to choose, it sounds like, which bat your player is using. There is a Marucci Cat X2, a Victus Vibe, and a Victus Vandal. I believe those are the 3 bats that I saw, but they did confirm that there are only 3 metal bats in Road to the Show, high school, college. You can't use them in the pros. You can't use them in Diamond Dynasty. Can't use them in franchise. They're not available in Diamond Dynasty, not even as a bat skin. It's a completely different system. It's coded into the game completely differently. It's not just a bat skin. Metal bats are brand new. They're their own thing, and that's why they're only in high school. They're only in college. Nowhere else in the game. Only in Road to the Show. And I'm thinking we'll probably see more metal bats all the way in MLB The Show 26, and maybe then they might be a bat skin. But for MLB 25, no metal bat skins in Diamond Dynasty, which is kind of a bummer for me. I was really hoping to have that. Obviously, I wouldn't want an exit velocity boost or anything, but I was really hoping to see some metal bat skins available in Diamond Dynasty. And just kind of going off of this, anything high school and college specific, like the bats, but also uniforms, jerseys, it sounds like the ballparks too. All of that is Road to the Show only. It doesn't seem like you can use that Omaha ballpark. It doesn't seem like you could use the 4 high school ballparks. You're not going to be able to get college uniforms in Diamond Dynasty. It sounds like all of that stuff is specific and only in Road to the Show. Now, we touched on this a little bit earlier, but even if you do pick a college to go to, you commit to a college on a high school, you can still get drafted. And then it gives you the option, hey, do you actually want to go to college, or because you got drafted, do you want to start your pro career? And when you're picking and choosing that, you can see the benefits to doing both. There may be the pros and cons to doing both. It's going to show you the things that you're getting. Hey, if you're going pro, this is what you get. If you are going to college, this is where you're going to get those things like upgrade tokens, perk packs, equipment packs, maybe a faster track to the majors, things like that. So you do have a choice to make, and that choice is going to matter. And the higher you get drafted does affect things. The higher you get drafted, the faster track you're going to be on to the majors. The higher you get drafted, the higher signing bonus of upgrade tokens you're going to have. However, if you go pro straight out of college, or straight out of high school, I should say, you're probably not going to get called up as fast. So that might be one of the downsides. But keep in mind that when you go to college, it skips you 4 years into the future. So your player does age. So I kind of want to, in my head, obviously I want to play through the college experience one time, but then I might start a new Road to the Show after that and get drafted straight out of high school. Just see how high I can get drafted. But I'm probably going to make the majors before that 4 years of college would be up. So that's something to keep in mind too, is that you could get to the majors younger if you go straight out of high school, but it just might take a little bit longer playing in the minors. Might take a few more years of experience, things like that, than if you were to skip to college and then get drafted after that. And they showcased on their little stream they did today the signing package, and that includes things like we said, the upgrade tokens to make your ball player better, the attributes, and the perk system. You can also get something like a perk choice pack, which will let you choose. I think this one was maybe power, and there's 3 power related perks that you got to choose from. There's also an equipment pack. This one was a gold equipment pack, and you got to choose between 3 pieces of gold equipment. And then just in general, if you go to college, you're going to get better exposure for the upcoming MLB draft. You're probably going to be able to get drafted higher, but then you're going to get more teams interested in you as well. So earlier we talked about the high school experience being 2 to 3 games. I'm pretty sure 3 games max. In college, you get 3 guaranteed games, but if you win the semifinal game, you get to play the championship game for a max of 4 games. and the college experience. So I love that high school's in the game. I love that college is in the game, but keep in mind, it's going to be a pretty short experience. It's only going to be, it sounds like, a max of 7 games for that high school and that college experience. Now, touching a little bit more on the perk system, every time that you level up a perk, you get to choose a top or a bottom option, and those are either going to increase the effects of your perk, or it looks like you can adjust one of the trigger timings for the perk. So you can maybe make one of the trigger timings removed or adjust one of them, and it's just going to depend on that specific perk, that specific part of the perk upgrade path. But every time you choose to upgrade a perk, you get to choose, hey, do you want to adjust one of the trigger timings, or do you want to increase the effects of the perk? And if you don't like the decision you made, if you make a decision and you're like, wait, I hate this sucks, I would have rather chosen the other option, you are able to go back and revert your choice. You are able to go back and change it, but keep in mind, you do have to spend upgrade tokens to change it back. It's not just a free, okay, I want to try the other one. You do have to spend some of your upgrade tokens if you want to go back and change it. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but if you fully master, if you fully max out a perk, you get a second effect, a second boost from that perk. So once you unlock all the perks, once you get all of them mastered, your road to the show player is going to be kind of insane. You're probably going to always be having all these different perks active no matter what situation you're in. I want to just reiterate, go over this one more time. Anything high school and college specific for road to the show sounds like it's specific for road to the show. Metal bats, college uniforms, the ballparks, I'm pretty sure too. All of that is only going to be in road to the show. At least for MLB The Show 25, it sounds like. Now, this wasn't too clear to me if this was high school and college only, if this is going to be a day-to-day in the minors and majors, or maybe just a playoff type of thing. But they did add the final out, or the potential final out of the game, to player lock to road to the show. So if you want to, you can always see that final out of the game. And just because you're choosing to see this option doesn't mean that it's going to be hit to you. It doesn't mean you're going to be involved in the play, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually going to be that final out of the game. It's just a final out situation, and this situation, that choice is going to keep popping up for you until the game's actually over. And again, I wasn't too clear if this was high school and college only, maybe playoffs as well for the majors, or if this is something you're going to be seeing every game for the minors and for the majors. I wasn't 100% sure on that, but it seems like it might only be those big game situations too. The high school, the college, those tournaments, but then maybe the playoffs for the MLB as well. In both high school and college, you're able to see after each game that you play your, in high school, college, and MLB interest, but then in college, just your MLB interest. You can see how many more teams are interested in you. You can see your projected round for the MLB draft. You can see that team interest going into the drafts. And especially for the college interest and a high school, you're just able to see, hey, what are the offers from the colleges? What am I getting specifically from each college? You're able to just see and track while you're progressing, going through these amateur years. You're able to see maybe the pros and cons for the choices that you potentially could be making. And something brand new, this will be in road to the show, but then also franchise. MLB debut patches are now in MLB The Show. You'll see this on your road to the show player's uniform during that debut. And then you also see it in franchise if a player's making their debut as well. That's pretty cool to see them adding more realism to the game like this. Seeing those MLB debut patches on the uniform is going to be cool. And that's going to be fun once you finally get called up for road to the show. I'm really curious in the comment section to see your thoughts on everything. What are you most excited for? If you have any questions still, if anything was unclear, definitely leave any questions down in the comment section. Myself or somebody else could try to help you out. As always, feel free to drop a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for daily uploads. You might enjoy one of the videos on screen, another on the channel. But otherwise, hopefully I'll see you in tomorrow's daily upload.